Good evening. Retired Senior Chief Petty Officer Bob Mayo here. I'm taking this opportunity to give a shout out to all Navy Special Warfare Organization members, your families, and Gold Star families. This tribute dinner is dedicated to you for all the sacrifices you have made and continue to make on a daily basis, protecting the very freedom and liberties we as Americans enjoy. Thank you and God bless.
When you came, you paved a trail, pointed to a path that's less. Pulled the breath, blew your sails, taking your heart from your chest. Oh, but time is sometimes too late to find out what you think you know.
We are honored to support the Navy SEAL Foundation on this evening of tribute, and we want to extend our sincere thanks to everyone in the Naval Special Warfare community, and especially to the Gold Star families for their service and sacrifice.
Whoa, 'cause I am here tonight. Who's to say the roads we take are heading to an end that's wrong? Gone my way, for heaven's sake, and I'm sorry I'll be gone so long, because tonight it may be all we get, so just hold on to something new. Look inside.
We live in the safest country in the world thanks to your sacrifices. May God bless you.
Whoa, and I am here for you. If you're afraid of come what may, just go on and never forget that I am here.
On behalf of Motorola Solutions, I want to thank our Naval Special Warfare warriors and their families for the sacrifices they make to keep all of us safe. For the weeks and months that you spend on long deployments away from your families, thank you. For your commitment and service on the front lines, thank you. And most especially for the Gold Star families that are here tonight, thank you. Because it's your family members, our heroes, that will never, ever be forgotten.
stone face and solid like.
On behalf of all employees at GCM Grosvenor, we want to take this opportunity to thank the Naval Special Warfare community for their sacrifice and service on this evening of tribute and feel privileged to be sponsors of the event. As a Marine, I understand the sacrifices borne not only by the individual service member, but also by their family members providing the support and encouragement necessary to forward deploy and protect our freedom. To all those that sacrifice, please know that we stand with you and support you.
Brothers fighting hand in hand, we are the warriors, just doing the best we can. Like a whisper in the wind, goes marching through the fields. Tonight, we are the men of steel. Outside the wire, our demons come. When the wait is over and the work's been done.
Hello everybody, I'm Jack Daly. I'm on the board of the Navy SEAL Foundation. Thanks for tuning in and joining us tonight. I really hope you enjoyed the program. And also, thank you for your generous donations. We on the board, I assure you, will fight very hard to use those donations to support the men and the families of Navy Special Warfare.
We are the warriors, just doing the best we can. Like a whisper in the winds, goes marching through the fields. Tonight, we are the men of steel. We're gonna fight, give it a roll. We'll never kneel, though we may fall. Gotta keep pushing, towing the line. No greater love, no greater love, no greater love than my brothers and mine. 'Cause we are the
Hey, this is Governor Eric Holcomb, just here to say thank you. As an old Navy man myself, I understand all the sacrifices that Navy SEALs make as a community and as an individual, as a team, and that your families make too. It's not lost on us, and we don't take your service for granted any day. So thanks for everything that you do, all the sacrifices that you make. You put the rock in our country, and for that reason, we're rolling, and I'm going to turn it up in your honor. Thank you.
Oh, tonight, we are the men of steel. Yeah, tonight, we are the men of steel.
Good evening. I'm Rear Admiral Brian Hendrickson, an advisory board member for the Navy SEAL Foundation. We're glad you're tuning in tonight, and we hope you enjoy the program. I want to thank you for your support of our mission to serve the Naval Special Warfare community and families.
Well, all I saw was smoke and fire. I didn't feel a thing. But suddenly I was rising higher. And I
Good evening,
felt like
retired
I
Senior Chief
just
Petty Officer Bob Mayo here.
is my
I'm taking this opportunity to give a shout out to all Navy Special Warfare Organization members, your families, and Gold Star families. This tribute dinner is dedicated to you for all the sacrifices you have made and continue to make on a daily basis, protecting the very freedom and liberties we as Americans enjoy. Thank you and God bless.
give my life. Could I make that sacrifice? If it came down to it, could I take the bullet? stand it all myself. But there's a brother on my left and another on my right, and in his pocket just like mine, he's got a photograph.
We are honored to support the Navy SEAL Foundation on this evening of tribute, and we want to extend our sincere thanks to everyone in the Naval Special Warfare community, and especially to the Gold Star families for their service and sacrifice.
You don't think twice. I wonder, would I give my life? Could I make that sacrifice? If it came down to it, could I take the bullet? I would. Yes, I would. You don't think about it right. You don't think about it wrong. You just do what you gotta do to defend your own. And I do the same for you. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Families, you live in the safest country in the world thanks to your sacrifices. May God bless you.
I would give my life. I would make that sacrifice. 'Cause if it came down to it, could I take the bullet? I would. Yes, I would. I'd do it for you. I'd do it for you. Take the bullet. Yes, I would.
On behalf of Motorola Solutions, I want to thank our Naval Special Warfare warriors and their families for the sacrifices they make to keep all of us safe. For the weeks and months that you spend on long deployments away from your families, thank you. For your commitment and service on the front lines, thank you. And most especially for the Gold Star families that are here tonight, thank you. Because it's your family members, our heroes,
See her
that will never, ever be forgotten.
land, blessed motherland, the place where I was born. Scars, yeah, she's got her scars. Sometimes it starts to worry me. 'Cause lose, I don't wanna lose sight of who we are. From the mountains high to the wave-crashed coast, there's a way to find better days, I know. It's been a long, hard ride, got a ways to go, but this is still the place that we all...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Navy SEAL Foundation Evening of Tribute. Please silence your phones for the duration of the evening program, and please rise for the singing of our national anthem by the Texas Tenors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome our 2020 event chair, Bob Locorcio.
Good evening. On behalf of my wife, Veronica, and myself, thanks for joining us for tonight's Navy SEAL Foundation Evening of Tribute. I'm told we have people tuning in from all over the world tonight, and this is one of our largest attended events ever. So thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. To those of you who are joining us from your homes somewhere in the United States, thank you for your support of those who seldom have an easy day. And to our sponsors, in a time when many of events were postponed, your investment will make a major difference in making sure we can sustain the support for our SEAL community. If we were all together in person tonight, I would normally ask for every Naval Special Warfare operator in the room to stand to be recognized, as well as those who served in other branches of our armed forces, either active duty or veterans, or as first responders. I would give you special recognition to our Gold Star. I would also give special recognition to our Gold Star families and those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. If we were here in person right now, you would all be receiving a standing ovation. Tonight, however, our Naval Special Warfare operators are not with us, but many are watching. Some who are watching are on a mission or training for a mission. And although we can't stand shoulder to shoulder with you, our warriors and your families, we want you to feel our respect and our unwavering support. You have our country's back, and we have yours. To those who are financially supporting tonight's event, thank you for your investment. Like the SEALs, the Navy SEAL Foundation focuses on its mission, not a goal. Goals are static and quantifiable. A mission is possessed by duty and obligation, and is perpetual. Goals provide focus, but missions provide inspiration, and they attract others and united in shared values in that mission. You know, I'm told there's a maxim among the SEALs that is know your direction, not your destination. The Navy SEAL Foundation has always known its direction and its mission. The mission has always been and always will be to provide immediate and ongoing support and assistance to the Naval Special Warfare community. This means every spouse, every mother, every child, every support specialist, every Special Warfare combat crewman, and every downrange operator. This year, the Navy SEAL Foundation is celebrating 20 years of support for the Naval Special Warfare community. Now, please just enjoy a short video highlighting the impact of their program for over the last 20 years.
In March 2002, at the very beginning of the month, we lost our first SEAL in Afghanistan, and we realized that things had changed. There were gaps that were obvious in terms of supporting the family members. We decided this was something that we needed to do.
This community disproportionately suffers enormous burdens, and they need a large organization to help them through constant struggle and constant tragedy that we faced over the years. You know, there really isn't another organization that even comes close.
It's just beyond words, it really is. The difference between what it used to be and what it is now because of the foundation, I mean, I can't even do it justice.
The foundation has evolved its programs with what's going on in the community. So as the wars increased and stepped up, the pressures on the families stepped up, we started really ensuring that we were in sync with the community.
When Lou died, I think the first thing I thought about was the boys, 7 and 9, and what was I going to do and how was I going to raise them and get them where they needed to be. I remember a friend saying to me immediately that the Navy SEAL Foundation will support you. That was one of the first things that was said probably within a couple hours. The support that's allowed programs so that we can honestly grow and be okay. As simple as that sounds, just to be okay. But when Lou died, that's what I wanted. I wanted to get to raise the boys and make sure that they're okay, whatever that looked like for us.
If there was no Navy SEAL Foundation, I don't know where my family and I would be at this point, considering what we've experienced on a number of different fronts, ultimately the loss of our son. They showed up when no one else did. Literally, we're on our doorstep within hours of our tragedy, and they've stayed with us.
My father was killed in 2003. I was only 5 years old. 17 years seems so long, I can't believe it. I'm very appreciative of Navy SEAL Foundation for being here for me this whole time.
For guys to transition, you guys vetted everybody. You brought in the 10 best groups out there that are actually helping people.
And so the Navy SEAL Foundation's there to make sure that they have the equipment they need so they can continue on with their military career if that's what they choose. Or if they're going to transition out, the same thing. They've got everything they need to have a fulfilling life.
The foundation has played a big part in making sure that the families are not forgotten.
I mean, we've lived everywhere, but for us, we've always tried to make Virginia home, and a huge piece of that was Camp Spec Ops. That is what our kids looked forward to, and they go to the camps every year, and they know that they can be themselves, and they can talk about what they're feeling, and know that they're not alone.
Without the people I've met through the camp, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now.
There was so much out of our control that for the first time, we really had someone go, no, what do you want? What do you want to do? How can we help you?
The Navy SEAL Foundation has so many programs that provides a huge amount of support. I don't think people quite realize how much you become really dependent on that support, be it babysitting hours, be it whatever, be it, you know, just a spouse appreciation nights, just knowing that you have a support system, knowing that you're not in it alone is really huge.
We create great programs. The great programs mean people get great care, means they tell you how wonderful it is, how much they appreciate it, and that helps us raise money to continue to create more great programs to give great care. So it's this circle that, you know, once it gets going, hopefully it doesn't stop until we're sure that everybody has everything they need.
Navy SEAL Foundation is filling a critical gap that is not filled by the government and/or the private sector. We must continue to fund missions like this to support the futures, both past, present, and forward-looking operators of the SEAL community.
I think society looks at legacy as looking backwards. The legacy that both the Navy SEAL Foundation and the Navy SEAL community, it looks at legacy as going forward.
At my retirement ceremony, I presented my children each a Purple Heart in recognition of the fact, I was wounded. I signed up for this. My children didn't get a choice. So knowing that we've got support out there like the Navy SEAL Foundation is giving my children a voice. And after my retirement ceremony, I looked at all my kids and I apologized to them for what I put them through. And when they look me in the eye and they say, I wouldn't have had it any other way, I know that's because of the voice that they've been given through the programs that the Navy SEAL Foundation has provided. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody that has supported the Navy SEAL Foundation as a leader in the community, as a Command Master Chief. That support from the community gave me a tremendous amount of tools to take care of people at the command, to keep the mission moving forward, get people taken care of, the help they need, and get back to work or to continue to work.
So I would say thank you to everybody who's supported the Navy SEAL Foundation and in turn supported the families. It's invaluable.
This is a necessary foundation, and thank goodness it exists, and thank you to the donors that have made it possible.
I can't thank the foundation and all the donors enough, because without you, I don't know where we'd be. You guys take care of family, you take care of our wounded. You're looking at how to take care of our guys that need help, that won't ask for help.
Thank you to those who support the Navy SEAL Foundation. The ripple effect goes on and on and on.
When you think about the Navy SEAL Foundation, think about the best of the best. Think about those men, their spouses, their children. They're all warriors. They're all involved. And think about how your support, monetary, time, allows them to give you the freedoms that you enjoy every day.
You may not be a SEAL operator that has a trident on your chest, but do not underestimate the power and your role in supporting this community.
We don't know what's next in the war, but I think our programs are really strong, and I think we're really prepared to take on whatever is coming in the future. We're just going to keep being the organization that Naval Special Warfare can count on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it's my great pleasure and privilege to introduce the CEO of the Navy SEAL Foundation, my friend who is the driving force behind the Foundation's direction and its mission, Robin King.
Good evening. It's my honor to welcome you to the Navy SEAL Foundation's Evening of Tribute. No matter where you may be watching, I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight as we celebrate and honor Naval Special Warfare. The last time I spoke at an event like this was in March of this year, and it feels like a lifetime ago. And to be honest, I don't think any of us could have imagined our current reality or anticipated how all of us would be forced to alter our ways of life to stay safe. We've been through so much in just a few months, and so much has changed. However, one thing that hasn't changed is the mission and all-in devotion of those we are here to celebrate tonight, our Navy SEAL community. The warriors and families sacrifice so much to do their jobs, and they do this willingly. But COVID has made their jobs even harder and even more dangerous. I wish I could thank each of them face-to-face at this event tonight. But to maintain force readiness, travel is restricted to prevent unnecessary exposure, another sacrifice they're making to ensure our national security and our safety. And speaking of sacrifice, I'd like to take a moment and share a message for our Gold Star and surviving family members who would normally be in attendance tonight. We miss you. We miss seeing you at events like this one, and we miss catching up with you. You are part of our NSW family forever, and I look forward to a time when we can gather together again. I hope each of you is safe tonight. I hope you feel the love, no matter where you are, and I hope you know that we are honored to support you. Tonight we celebrate our entire NSW community and 20 years of Navy SEAL Foundation support. Support for the commands, the families, the veterans, and the survivors. Support for a warrior community unlike any other. Many of you are familiar with our humble beginnings, and you've witnessed our growth and the impact our programs have had on the strength and resiliency of this dynamic community. from only $14,000 of support in 2000 to delivering more than $17 million of wide-ranging support in 2019, the Navy SEAL Foundation has created specialized, quality programming to meet the needs of this community. And throughout this exponential growth, we've remained the fastest crisis response team with the resources to move mountains if that's what Naval Special Warfare asked of us. And looking back, we have moved mountains for this community. We've been with families at hospitals when they had to make significant medical decisions for their wounded SEAL. We've held the hands of children and spouses when they've cried over their struggles, and we've gotten grateful hugs and emotional letters of thanks from warriors whose families we've helped. We've provided comfort and care for families dealing with the deaths of their loved ones. And we've relieved stress from Naval Special Warfare casualty teams because they knew that once the Foundation was involved, every issue would be handled, and they could focus their energy on the families in need and the men who remain downrange. The Foundation created camps for children of this community because Naval Special Warfare's unique deployment schedules made these kids ineligible for other military children's camps. And we expanded our camps to ensure that the 1,000 kids who wish to attend every year got to go and enjoy this special time with their peers. We increased our active duty scholarship program to cover the gap created by the Department of Defense's shortfall. And over the years, we expanded our eligibility to provide educational opportunities for active duty, spouses, children, and our SEAL and SWCC veterans. The Foundation led the way in examining brain and mental health issues that face our warriors, working hard to normalize the conversation and bringing world-class experts together to introduce proven, successful treatments to our veterans and command medical teams. We were the first organization to include the families of our warriors lost to suicide in survivor programming, recognizing that these deaths were truly the result of combat and service. The Foundation's work created change in Special Warfare's approach to brain health, and we continue to support legislation to ensure our veterans have clear information about the medications they are prescribed. And this is only a fraction of the work that we've done. There's no way for me to capture the impact of 20 years of support in a few minutes, or to explain how we have flexed our programs to support the community through this pandemic. Still, I hope you understand the incredible difference the Navy SEAL Foundation has made. I hope you know the passion and dedication with which we approach every need, and I hope you can see how personal this is to us, how hard our board, staff, ambassadors, and advisors work to ensure that the Navy SEAL Foundation is prepared to take on the next decade's challenges. Our support matters to this community, and we have, and we will continue to make a difference in the lives of these very special people. Thank you to every donor and supporter joining us tonight. You have given us the ability to do the great work we do, and we are humbled by your trust. The Foundation's commitment to Naval Special Warfare is unwavering, and with your ongoing support, we will continue to provide innovative programs and create change for years to come. For these warriors, their families, our veterans, and our survivors, your Navy SEAL Foundation is here for you, and we will continue to move mountains. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to present the 2020 Navy SEAL Foundation Patriot Award to Miles D. White, Executive Chairman of the Board of Abbott, a global healthcare company with operations in 160 countries. Before I welcome Mr. White to the stage, please join me in watching this short video that speaks to his patriotism and global impact.
I humbly serve as a guardian to my fellow Americans, always ready to defend those who are unable to defend themselves.
When I think about the Navy SEAL Creed, I think about unwavering courage, the depth of integrity, thriving under adversity. These are all the qualities that Miles White brings.
Miles went to Culver Military Academy, and from that, he does have many of the military attributes of the Navy SEALs.
He's steadfast, he's relentless, he's compassionate. He cares about people, and he cares about doing the right thing. He has a very strong moral code.
He loves this country very, very much. That's obviously true of every Navy SEAL.
I'm grateful for every SEAL for the work that they're doing, because they're not in the stands. They're in the arena, they're making a difference, and they're making a sacrifice for all of us. And Miles has always been in the arena his entire career, and he's in it right now in the middle of COVID.
Miles White has been one of the longest serving CEOs in corporate America.
22 years. This is the Tom Brady, this is the Michael Jordan of CEOs. It's an incredible record.
Miles stepped down earlier this year as a CEO of Abbott, but has stayed as executive chair.
And then COVID happens.
Cases of the coronavirus surge. USNS Comfort receiving patients
diagnosed with COVID. What is it doing to the brain?
I was laid off.
Things may not be exactly how they were before.
Abbott has been in the forefront during this COVID-19 crisis to create new forms of testing, faster forms of testing. Miles White has literally worked around the clock for months.
It's maybe meant to be that you have a leader like Miles come along at a time like this, where everything that he's done in his career is helping save lives, save livelihoods, and help save our nation.
In times of war or uncertainty, there is a special breed of warrior, ready to answer our nation's call.
He is a servant leader, and he's relentless, all with a sense of doing the right thing at all times for all people.
No one is more passionate about serving this nation than him. He takes it personally. He wants to solve these problems.
That's the personal side of him, where he sees a problem and he addresses it. And he puts everything else aside to make certain we're dealing with the most important issue at the time, which is what the Navy SEALs do.
If there's a place to be to support a friend, Miles will make sure that they know that he's there for them in their time of need. On top of all of his duties that he's had to family, to community, to company, and to country, he still always finds a way to be there for his friends, and that's really remarkable.
On behalf of the Navy SEAL Foundation, we are honored that Miles White is serving this year as our Patriot Award recipient.
He's a patriot in what he has done with Abbott and how he's positioned the company to be a global citizen. And he's a patriot to recognize the importance of the United States as a leader in the world.
He understands the true sacrifices that our SEALs and their families make in support and protection of our country.
Thank you for all you do to support the military, support your community, support our country. You're an incredible patriot. Congratulations, Miles.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Navy SEAL Foundation, I am honored to present the 2020 Navy SEAL Foundation Patriot Award to Miles D. White, Executive Chairman of the Board of Abbott.
Okay, so you wonder what thoughts are going through somebody's mind, and I don't deserve that. Thank you, Robin King. Thank you to the Navy SEAL Foundation. Thanks to all of you who support this fine organization and its noble mission. And above all, most importantly, thank you to the SEALs themselves who take such extraordinary challenges and burdens for the sake of our country, and thank you for your families who endure that with you. I want to also acknowledge our entire military in this country. But for them, we couldn't live the freedom that we live. We couldn't have the debates and the messy government and all the things that we get to endure and enjoy. We could not have the values, the freedoms, the ability to worship the way we do without our military. And tonight, there was no greater benefit than to be able to say thank you to our SEALs and their families and support them and show them that millions of Americans appreciate everything that our military and they do for us. I want to also thank and acknowledge Ken Griffin, a friend who has been unbelievably generous in his humble, quiet support of the Navy SEAL Foundation and in such an extraordinary and generous way. Thank you, Ken. I want to thank my friends, the governor of North Dakota, Doug Burgum, you just saw in this video, who is a tremendous patriot in our country and tremendous supporter of our military, and Phoebe Novakovic, who's the chairman and CEO of General Dynamics, a company that is right in the middle of all the defense of this country and a close friend, and Bill Osborne, who sits on the board of General Dynamics as part of the defense infrastructure of this country and everything that means to all of us, for speaking on my behalf, and thank you tonight. And then finally, I want to tell you that we are really fortunate that we have leaders in our military, thoughtful, brilliant, strategic, diplomatic, educated, honest, worthy leaders like General James Mattis. And to be able to be here with him tonight to support and pay tribute to our SEALs and their families is a tremendous honor that is humbling. I would have come just for that. You didn't have to give me any recognition at all. Tonight, I had some remarks, and I think the most important thing I can do is speak from the heart and use the opportunity for what I viewed it as, an opportunity to say thank you to our SEALs, to their families, for the incredible risks and dangers that they endure, to the anxiety that they endure, that their families endure. I have 3 friends, my generation, who have sons who are all SEALs. One of those SEALs I've known since he was a little boy. He used to go out in the backyard and look for deer and pretend he was a hunter and do all sorts of things. And he grew up to be one of the defenders of our nation, to be a SEAL. And I remember how I felt when I learned that he had become one. And I thought, geez, I knew him when he was just a little boy. And yet, he grew up to be an adult defending us in one of the scariest, most challenging and difficult positions to defend a nation, its values, etc. Did I see that in him when he was a little boy? I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't think about it. But the great revelation was every one of our SEALs was once a little boy. Every one of our military members was once a little boy, or a little girl, as the case may be, who went on to value what this nation stands for, to defend it in so many difficult places, so many ways, to exhibit such extraordinary skill and courage and values. If I had a chance to say thank you on behalf of millions of Americans who appreciate what all of us know, that these are, in our entire military, the elite of the elite, if I had an opportunity to say thank you, boy, that's the best honor of all. I get to say thank you to you and your families who support you. So tonight, thank you for the recognition, but thank you mostly for the opportunity to laud you, and thank you for everything you do for me, for my family, for us, for everybody in this nation. Thank you.
And now a special message from Rear Admiral Jamie Sands.
Good evening. As a member of our Naval Special Warfare community stationed in Chicago, I would like to express my sincere thanks to each of you for your tangible patriotism, dedication, and tremendous support to our Navy's Special Operations Forces. My wife Jen and I have been living in the quarterdeck of the Navy in Great Lakes for over a year. We have both come to love the area, but we especially love the people, I was told before I moved here that Chicago is a Navy town, but I have been humbled and frankly amazed by the depth of the love and support this town has for the Navy and for naval special warfare. Calling Chicago a Navy town is, of course, a significant understatement. From the legacy of Navy Lieutenant Edward Henry O'Hare, a Navy carrier pilot awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for heroism in 1943, to the remarkable history of World War II pilot qualifications aboard the USS Wolverine and USS Sable on Lake Michigan, to Midway Airport, named after one of the most important battles of World War II, and finally, to the fact that Chicago now serves as the home of the Navy's only boot camp. Chicago exemplifies our all-in, all-the-time NSW mantra. The Navy is simply part of Chicago's core identity. On behalf of all the men and women actively serving our Navy and Naval Special Warfare here in Chicago, thank you for taking us in and for making us family. I will share with you tonight that the men and women who join the Navy and NSW don't sign up because they're looking for an easy life. Instead, they decide to serve our country because they're looking for a life of significance, a life measured by their impact on others. I can tell you that when they joined the Navy, they came to the right place. A life of significance is exactly what we offer, and it's exactly what we offer in Naval Special Warfare. Whether in training, combat, celebration, or grief, each of our teammates touches our lives. Each of our teammates live a life of significance. The concept of a life of significance is an appropriate way to lead into a powerful and important event this evening, rolling the scroll. The scroll shows the names and faces of our fallen, warriors killed in combat, in training, or in some cases by their own hand as a result of wounds we don't always see. We have a small community, and many of us in NSW, many here with us tonight or viewing this online, have strong connections with warriors on the scroll, with their parents, their siblings, spouses, and children. I would be grateful if you take a moment and focus in on some of the names tonight. Read them slowly, and as you do, remember that our country's sacrifice is not simply the treasure of their significant lives. The sacrifice goes on, day in and day out. Many of you know it. The soft pain of their loss, always just beneath the surface, for the families, friends, and teammates who love them. It is up to us to remember them, to smile as we think of them, and to turn the love we have for them right back onto those they left behind. Thank you for your continued support to our families and our teammates who drive on, better for having had these fallen warriors in their lives. My teammates will want to stand, but I respectfully request you stay seated so that everyone can see and read the scroll. Thank you. Roll the scroll.
Saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious is that grace appeared the hour I first believed.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we'd first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate sacrifice made by those faces of what we just saw on the screen, and the sacrifices and heartache felt by their loved ones, are the reason why we're here tonight. Those warriors were fully aware of the dangers when they signed up for a job serving our nation. The best way to honor those fallen warriors is for each of us to live the best life possible and to love America, even her imperfections, and to always thank our veterans and cherish our freedoms and the American dream. And remember, those who made the ultimate sacrifice did it for all of us. The man I'm about to introduce will talk more about honor, love of country, and service to America. But before I do, we can also honor the fallen by supporting the Navy SEAL Foundation. Please consider texting NSF to the number 24365 to pledge your support. Thank you for your generosity. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, General James Mattis. General Mattis has served our country for 4 decades. He's a retired United States Marine Corps general who also served as the 26th U.S. Secretary of Defense. During his 44 years in the Marine Corps, he commanded forces in the Persian Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, and the Iraq War. General Mattis retired from the Marines in 2013, and his final assignment was Commanding General of Central Command, or CENTCOM. General Mattis has written several books and currently is a distinguished fellow at the Hoover Institute at Stanford University. General Mattis' relationship with the Navy SEAL community goes back many years. One of his closest friends is a member of the SEAL community, Admiral Bob Hayward, who was watching from overseas and had many stories he wanted me to share tonight, but out of respect to you, General, in the spirit of brevity, I won't share those stories from the Admiral. But what I will share is what Admiral Hayward and many so admire about you: your tremendous intellect, your wisdom, your humility. We admire your fighting spirit, we respect your leadership, and your love of our country. And of course, as everyone knows, we love to quote you, General. Your Mattis-isms are intellectual, funny, and always matter of fact. Having quoted you several times myself, I've come to the conclusion some quotes can only have the right effect when they come from you personally. But one I believe that is befitting for tonight, and I quote, "I don't lose any sleep at night over the potential for failure. I cannot even spell the word." Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming General Jim Mattis.
Can't spell anything, actually. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much. As you all know, the Marines are not the intellectual heavyweights of the Department of Defense. I can't actually spell anything, so it's not just failure. But it's great to be back in Chicago. It's great to be back with the Navy SEAL Foundation. I would just tell you, I cannot return to this venue without a deep sense of gratitude. One thing, Robin, I don't get invited back to polite company much to speak anymore after some of the things I've said, so thank you for welcoming me back. But also grateful to the SEALs who got me out of every jam I got them into. I would just tell you that this city, this great city, Chicago, and the SEALs have common attributes. And as Admiral Sands noted, both these cities, or both these organizations, the city being one and the SEALs being another, they share a lot in common being a Navy town, and it really is a Navy town, as he noted. But they are also both very muscular, and more importantly, they both have heart. Chicago has heart, and the SEALs have heart, and they're strong hearts, they're stout hearts. Our SEALs are always at their best, as we know, ladies and gentlemen, when the times are at their worst. They are defined by their selfless service at the point of contact with the enemy, and their steadfast families demonstrate the same devotion and commitment as their loved ones who go in harm's way on the front lines of defending our freedom. In the same vein as Chicago's strong heart, America's Midwestern city that's known all around the world, a city known for its dynamism. And I will tell you, Miles, it's an honor to be here with you tonight. A man who, if you wanted to put a definition of patriotism in Webster's with just a picture, you'd put Miles White's picture right in there. Thank you, Miles. But it's a city that's also known for its industry's generosity of spirit to the larger good. And they are industries like Abbott Labs that brings investments in their workforce and scientific rigor to the front line in our life and death battle against COVID. And it's led by this executive chairman, Mr. Miles White, who leads by example and sees his workforce as an investment, not as overhead. Sound familiar to the SEALs? SEALs, too, know about leadership by example. Two different organizations, Abbott Labs and the SEALs, two different missions, but a reminder that America breeds leaders, real leaders guided by three words: put others first. In the uncertainty of the battlefield, whether they're against terrorists who thought by hurting us on 9/11 that they could scare us, or against this right nasty virus, COVID, that is not going away on its own, we find common qualities across our wonderfully big-hearted country. Leaders who march chest forward into the fight, leaders not intimidated by the odds, men and women who are referred to as those in the ring. The Navy SEAL Foundation, now in its 20th year, was born in the aftermath of the 9/11 attack on America, an attack that killed thousands of innocent citizens from 91 countries. A reminder, 91 countries paid that day. The Navy SEAL Foundation is the cornerstone of the Naval Special Warfare community, and tonight that foundation brings us together for a moment's pause in our lives. A pause when we can experience reminders of what unifies us as Americans. To see this gathering, even in the time of COVID distancing, it's a demonstration of the best of American values. To see this unity is to see a demonstration of people committed to better lives for each other. To see this communal meeting ground is to see a demonstration of e pluribus unum in action. Out of many, one nation, one people. To see this shared respect, this evening is a reminder that we Americans are better than our politics. To be reminded in the best of company, even if we're just connected virtually, that we are not defined by selfish instincts. Rather, we are one for all and all for one, to put it into the vernacular of the Three Musketeers. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps Alexander Dumas was writing about the SEALs of his day. For these are the enduring qualities of America. And having learned a bit about SEALs, and having learned a bit about Chicago's people, it's easy to understand why so many diverse parts of America fit so well together here right now. Bound by our love of liberty, bound by our generosity toward each other, bound by our respect for others' hopes and others' dignity, especially those who are facing adversity like our SEALs who represent the best of us. As we gather here, there is a special recognition this evening for those we forever hold close in our hearts from the scroll. The more than 100 fallen and their Gold Star families to whom we pay our undying respects, to their wives and sweethearts, their mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, and especially to their children. We hold you close tonight. We hold you close always. Please know that among so many of your fellow Americans, your family's sacrifices for freedom will never be lost in the dustbin of history. For we who sense and share your sorrow will allow nothing to remove the memory of your fallen from our hearts. Our Gold Star family should also know two things about their heart-wrenching sacrifices, their losses. First, that our SEALs and our troops had to send a message to those who thought by hurting us they could scare us. Your loved ones fell proving the enemy wrong, proving that America's elite can unflinchingly confront danger and discomfort to protect our Constitution and our freedom. Proving that we Americans are not made of cotton candy, proving that we Americans will stand by each other and our allies when the chips are down. That message had to be sent to the fanatics who believed otherwise. They had to be shown we don't scare. Secondly, you, our Gold Star families, and all our SEALs and their families need to know that the Navy SEAL Foundation will be there for you and your children, whatever the future holds. In these stern times with storm clouds overseas and our SEALs engaged in combat, even as we meet this evening, and a COVID crisis bringing its own battles to our shores, with our scientists, our doctors, our nurses engaged in a race against this virus, a race between time and knowledge. In the face of these unknowns in the year 2020, with all the uncertainties they bring, let us doubt our doubts, but not our values. For one thing that is certain is that we can count on each other. We can count on the essential American character. Admittedly, it's sometimes hidden from view by hot political rhetoric. Sometimes it's overshadowed by what's foremost on the news. Sometimes it's left unspoken, but expressed in more quiet actions, like Mr. Ken Griffin's donating this year the largest gift in our foundation's history. No matter how much smoke is produced, America's essential character is demonstrated and will shine through in innumerable ways across our country every day, just as it is here tonight. Americans listening to what President Lincoln called our better angels, from SEALs on the outpost line, living up to the Navy values of honor, courage, and commitment, to those who live here in Chicago whose devotion to this city can never be diminished, to the Navy SEAL Foundation's unwavering commitment to the SEALs and their families, to role models recognized by the Patriot Award. These are the examples that define America, that live by e pluribus unum, that put others first. Sometimes I learn more about America through foreign eyes than through my own experiences here at home. I recall having a lunch in Washington, D.C. when I was on active duty with an ambassador from a foreign country, just the two of us in his backyard on a spring day. And he said to me that America had made the single most self-sacrificial pledge in world history. I thought I knew something about American history. I said, when was it? And he said, after World War II. And I said, the Marshall Plan, where we helped the enemies that we just defeated get back on their feet, that we'd whipped the fascists, and then we welcomed the German and the Italian and the Japanese people back to the community of nations? He said, no. No, he said, that's just the generosity of the American people. It's phenomenal, but no, the most self-sacrificial pledge, he said, was made in 1948-49, when after World War II, your country had every reason to look at Europe and say, that's it. That's twice in 25 years you've drawn us into your wars. We've paid a price. We've lost hundreds of thousands of our buddies. You're on your own, Europe. We're going to turn to Africa and Asia, to the Mideast and Latin America. We're through with you. He said, instead, you set up NATO and pledged 100 million dead Americans in a nuclear war to defend democracy in Europe. It took a foreigner to teach that to me, because I'd never been taught that in our schools. It took a foreigner to show me how great America is. But think about that, the most sacrificial pledge in world history, and that too is the America that we celebrate here tonight. There is a second learning experience I was asked to share just a few hours ago here in Chicago. And it goes to when I was a two-star general commanding the 1st Marine Division in Iraq in the western Euphrates River Valley. We were having a tough time. We were outnumbered. We'd been in a fight in Fallujah a short time before, where every SEAL with a gun rallied to fight alongside my Marines in a very, very tough fight. I had 29 sailors and Marines who escorted me around the battlefield, my drivers, gunners, radio operators. We were in a tough situation. Of those 29 sailors and Marines, 17 out of 29 would be killed or wounded in a matter of 4 months. We pulled in one night to an outpost. We had trouble getting there. And it was out in the middle of the desert, about 10 kilometers from the Euphrates River. And this lieutenant and his sailors and Marines were sitting on what we called a rat line in from Syria. Foreign fighters who would come through our desert to get to Baghdad. And if they got there, a lot of innocent people were going to die. So these Marines were strung out in outposts to interdict them and take them out. And when the sun came up, I was inside the lieutenant's perimeter with his 40 sailors and Marines. And he came over to tell me what was going on, where they'd been fighting, how many men he'd lost, how many enemy he'd interdicted. And he said, by the way, we caught a guy laying an IED last night on the road you were driving in on. That's a little personal. He said, well, he said he speaks good English. He spent 2 years in London, can speak perfectly good English. You want to talk to him? I said, sure. They brought him over. He'd had a bad night, obviously. He was out there digging his hole, had his artillery rounds to put in the hole, and his pressure plate and all that stuff. And he looked up, and there's 5 guys in camouflage uniforms standing around him. He knew immediately that his retirement plan was in jeopardy. And so he sits down, and he's so nervous, he's shaking, and he spills the coffee that we give him in a little cup and everything. And I asked him, what are you doing this for? You're Sunni, we're the Marines, we're the only friends you've got in this country. What are you trying to kill us for? And he started going into one of those rants, you know, oh, you Jews, you Americans, you're here to steal the oil. I said, no, actually, we're not. We have no interest in stealing your oil. In fact, I got to pull my wallet out every time I fill my car up. So you're a learned man. Why don't you just go away if you're just going to talk like this? The Marine stepped forward to take him away, and he said, may I sit here for a minute? I said, sure. So the Marine just stood there watching him. And he said, well, I don't like having foreign soldiers in my country. I said, okay, I respect that. I wouldn't want foreign soldiers in my country. And so we talked a bit more and asked him about his family and that sort of thing. And his wife and 2 daughters had been forced with himself to move out of Baghdad by the war, the sectarian war, and they were living down on the river, not too far away. And we're talking a little bit more, and it was time for me to move on. The sun was well up. And the Marine stepped forward to take him away. He said, General, can I ask you a question? I said, sure. And he said, am I going to jail? I said, oh, yeah. You're going to be wearing an orange jumpsuit and living in Abu Ghraib prison for a good long time for this little stunt. You're lucky you're not dead. And he said, General, do you think if I'm a model prisoner that someday my family and I could immigrate to America? And I looked at him and I said, well, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm not sure. You go ahead and give it a try. But as I walked away, I'm very proud to have served alongside SEALs, very proud to be a Marine, and we need our CIA and our military in an imperfect world to keep this experiment that you and I call America alive. But beside the power of intimidation that we represent, there's the power of inspiration, and that power of inspiration was so strong that it could even reach the heart halfway around the world of someone who had chosen to fight us. That's just how strong the power of America's inspiration is. So let's leave here tonight, like I said earlier, let's doubt our doubts about America, but never doubt our values nor our belief in America's fundamental goodness. As we have experienced it here this evening, as we always experience it, Robin, in the SEAL Foundation, the Navy SEAL Foundation, e pluribus unum, out of many, one for all and all for one. So Godspeed to our SEALs as they head out on their missions tonight, wherever they are in the world. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for including me here tonight. It's an honor to be here alongside you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. This was an amazing event for such a large audience, much of it virtual. I want to thank Miles White again for his contribution this evening. And I'd be remiss if we didn't thank General Mattis. Thank you so much for your inspiration, sir. You're a great patriot, and it was a bucket list item meeting you tonight, so thank you. Everyone, enjoy the rest of the evening. This concludes our evening. Thank you to everyone who dialed in tonight and joined us virtually. I believe you could make an extra gift by texting NSF to the number 24365. I'll end on that. Thank you, everyone. Good evening.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife,
I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today.
'Cause this flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
God bless the USA.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee,
across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea,
from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA,
where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
This concludes our program. Thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for your support of the Navy SEAL Foundation.